What's up? I want to talk about why I didn't go to college and how some of these reasons why still affect me at 40 years old. I'm going back to me as a student. All through elementary, I was real smart. Sixth grade, I was a student council president at Hidden Valley Elementary. Junior high at Northeast. I was academically gifted, all AG classes, made B's and A's. I give a lot of credit to that, to my childhood friend, Brian Harris. He was a natural, smart little kid, and that was my best friend, and I just wanted to be like my best friend, so I dug deep and to be smart just like him. And, at Northeast, I played football. That was my first years playing football. I was MVP, tight end, both years. Found out I was really good at football going into the ninth grade, leaving Northeast in the 8th grade and going to South Meck in the 9th grade. That summer, I got my first piece of ass. So starting high school, I was kind of already like, I had that trigger on me, I had done woke up. So when I got to high school, they had me in all AG, all AP classes. And that year when I went out, I had to play JV because I started I started late. So they was like, you got to play JV since the season already started. So I played tailback. There was an MVP year, but that first report card, I didn't make a 2.0. And I just think it was mainly because my parents didn't really pressure me or really didn't get intertwined with my work. And like I say, I had got my first piece that summer, so education and just learning and being smart wasn't really important to me when I got to South Meck, and I didn't have my best friend no more. So that kind of crushed me, and it gave me a reality check. So I remember after that report card, I didn't get to play the last game. And coach was like, well, since you didn't get to play the last game, I can't give you the MVP, which broke my heart. And just like I say, that truly impacted me for the rest of my school career. So I told my mama at that time, I said, Mama, take me out of all advanced classes. Take me out of all that stuff. I ain't want to do that no more. And I think the difference between advanced classes and regular classes was, in regular classes, they pretty much taught you and gave you the answers. All you had to do was memorize the answers and put them down on a test, and you'll make 100. In advanced and AG classes, they told you the source where the answers was, and you had to go find the answers, then put them down. But when my mama took me out of regular classes, I pretty much went through the rest of 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, never having to apply myself in any type of way school-wise. It was just, that shit was easy to me, and I never really had to apply myself. But in football, like I said, I was gifted, man. I say I got MVP my 9th grade year, my 10th grade year, my first year on varsity. We played with a lot of man boys, and I got in where I fit in, but 11th and 12th, I was MVP. And going into my 12th grade year, I watched everybody around me get college letters, and I knew I was good on that level. Like, man, I can't wait till these college letters start rolling, you know what I mean? Because I think my 11th grade year, I led the county in sacks the whole season. One of my best games that year was 20 tackles and 4 sacks at defensive tackle. It was just like, man, I was the real deal. But at the same time, I wasn't seeing no colleges or letters, or I wasn't even having no college conversations. And it was more so, I don't knock my mom and my daddy. They was great parents to me. And I would say they didn't understand that college education, or they didn't understand that. And most importantly, I look back on it now, I don't think they understood my potential in terms of academically wise and sports-wise. I think I was one of the special ones that really had a shot if I would have had that pressure or that support behind me. But I remember my 11th grade year going into my 12th grade year, I had a cousin. She worked with me, and she was like, is your mama filing you on your taxes? And I was like, I don't know. I asked her. So I remember asking my mama, was you filing me on your taxes? She was like, no. So she was like, well, I'll give you $400 if you give me your social security number and let me file you on your taxes. So I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm 17, like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? So she gave me the money, and it was all good at the time. And so going into my 12th grade year, now I would say this, going into my 12th grade year, even 10th and 11th, I drove all type of cars to school. I had a convertible Corvette, a 67 Triumph Spitfire, a 69 Nova. All of them was hooked up bad. I had a Tempo, so, you know, I was one of the first people in high school to have real gold teeth in his mouth. So it's like, I'm gonna say, some people maybe looked at me as a privileged child. Some of them looked at me maybe as a drug dealer. But I remember when it was time to get serious about going to college, I felt like, man, I'm gonna go to the college and I'm gonna really I can make the NFL. Hell, I can be a doctor. I'm smart enough to do anything. I just felt that way about myself as a child. So I remember just, you know, asking Coach, and I still got them same tapes. Like, Coach, man, make me some highlight tapes, man. Why ain't nobody sending me no letters or nothing? So I would get all my highlight tapes myself. And my daddy came to every game I ever played almost. And it's like I would watch him at the end of the game. He would wave at me, yo, I'm going to get you a fish box. But I was looking at other parents who was talking to the coaches, who was sitting with scouts. And I'm like, man, they getting all this attention, and I'm the damn star on the team. What the hell going on? So I remember talking to my guidance counselor, Mr. Spencer, and I'm in there talking to him sincerely like, I want to go to college. And I can never forget this feeling. That man looked at me and almost spit in my face like I was just a hood nigger drug dealer from the west side, and here I am, I make A's and B's, and I ain't even having to apply myself. You know, this shit just easy. And, you know, I just remember that feeling. So I remember going to my coach, like, Coach, why ain't no colleges sending me no letters or looking at me? He was like, well, you probably can go to college and walk on to any black college and start, and they'll probably put you in a little training and put you back down to being a tailback or a running back, and I'm pretty sure you can walk on any black college and start on financial aid. And that was his response to me. This is his star player, man, 3-time MVP, you know what I mean? The one player that everybody got on their scouting report. And so when the Shrine Bowl came out, I'm like, forget it. If I make this Shrine Bowl, which I felt like there was no way in hell I wasn't going to make the Shrine Bowl. I'm like, when I get in this Shrine Bowl, I'm going to blank so hard that every college who watched this game going to say, man, that's the greatest goddamn defensive tackle in the history of North Carolina, right? So when the Shrine Bowl came out, I didn't even get selected, man. And that broke me, man. That broke me. So at this time, I was heartbroken, and I ain't had nobody to turn to, nobody to explain to me. I was a 17-year-old child with no support and nobody to believe in me. But everybody around me loved me, but I would just say they just didn't know any better or know how to support me. So when it came time to take my SATs, I remember I got up one morning and went to East Mac, woke up, told my mom, I'm going to take my SATs. Dad, I'm going to take my SATs. I don't even know if they knew what it was, but I went and took them just on my own way. Filed for Fayetteville State, applied for Fayetteville State, paid my own money for the application fee. Fayetteville State came back, I got accepted. So they was like, we got to fill out the financial aid parts. So I'm trying to fill it out myself. And I remember looking at it like, who filed you on your taxes? And like I told you, my cousin had filed me. So now I'm scared, like, man, I'm going to get my mama in trouble. I'm thinking I done broke the law and I done messed it up. And so I'm talking to my daddy, and my daddy was like, damn college. You ain't going to go waste 4 years of your life. And I'm like, man, you know, whatever. So, but I still got faith like I can go all the way up to I graduated, right? Now, I remember this, my 12th grade year, I didn't have no math. Only thing I had was English, and I had one class that was for like a social studies type thing. And it was the last period of the day, but I would go in there and go to sleep. So the teacher was like, if you don't pass my exam, you're not going to graduate. Call my daddy. My daddy come in there and jack me up. Motherfucker, you ain't going to graduate. This. So it was like, okay, it's the first time and only time I studied in 4 years of high school. So I made 100 on her exam. She saw me at graduation. She said, I'm so disappointed in you. I said, why? She said, because you're the only person aced my exam, and I think you could have been the valedictorian. And that stuck with me. But being a heartbroken 17-year-old, we're going to turn 18-year-old now, man, it's like that precedent still affects me because I made a plan to say if I don't go to college, in 4 years, they're going to have to catch me. I bought a house. I had 2 paid for cars. In 4 years when I would graduate, I had right at $30,000 saved up in the bank. So I had a plan, but that hurt why I didn't go to college. Kind of affects me to this day where when y'all hear me talk about this knowledge and y'all hear me talk about this shit, I've sat in a classroom with the smartest people at South Mecklenburg in my class and knew I'm smarter than a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it made me a vigilante against validation. So my phone about to die, but I just want to say this, man. Here go the point of it all, man. Parents, truly believe in your kids, man. Don't be the last ones to see the potential of greatness in your own children. Look inside your children and see what their strengths are. See what they're made of. Push them, man. Push them, man. Don't never let your child be in a position where he wondering what if or what if. And you know, I don't have no regrets, but I just know, man, as that still that 17-year-old child who knowing he great, but just wanting somebody to believe in me enough to push me, man, it still affects me at 40 years old, man. So I love you, and always believe in your children. Always push your children, man. Don't push them to what you want to do, but look and see what they're good at and believe in them, man. I love you.